and we're really happy that you joined our webinar. Actually, today we have not real webinar. We have a little bit different format. We have open discussion when our partners, representatives from different hosting companies from different countries, will share your experience during this unusual situation. Will you share your expectations for future, for in the hosting industry, in website industry, and probably also we would like to know, to hear what do you wait from us, how we could help you in current situation, how we can help your customers. So the main subject for today that we will discuss is the current situation in our businesses and how we can use this situation and how we can apply in our businesses today. So I'll share a little bit information about Site.pro. Actually, what I wanted to share is that we tried to react immediately, and when all these situation started, we already launched the new plan, the 30 days trial for your end customers, and now we have the possibility just to give your customers an opportunity to create online stores and websites for free during the first 30 days, and they will not need to pay. It's a kind of help during this difficult situation. During the last webinar, during the last conversation with biggest Russian companies, with biggest Ukrainian companies, and actually during that conference, Namecheap participated, and they shared the information how they help to businesses, how they help people to go online, to start operating in an online space. I'll be able to share this link a little bit later. So Site.pro actually is trying to help to end customers and to hosting companies at the moment. This is why we try with our product, and this is why we try to react immediately. As I said, we launched a new product, the new builder version for our cloud customers, and all of you who already have cloud versions, you are able to activate your new builder right now, today, on your license page in the brand. Talking about the general situation and trends inside the Pro about customers, actually, we noticed an increase in our partners activity, a big amount to our support team. All this period, actually, we can compare this period to the previous year or to the beginning of this year, and we have increased number of requests probably several times. Talking about new customers, we face really big increase in terms of new customers of new hosting companies in the end of the March and in the beginning of April. And now actually I can share that the situation is not opposite, but we see that the growth became slower. This is what we face, what we see in our market in Lithuania here. If Filip wants to share something, I can give him a word. I can pass the word to him. If no, I'll ask my guests to share the situation in the countries, in the companies. How do you see any threats? How do you use the situation in your businesses? How do you help to your end customers? What is going on in your countries, in your companies?
Just for 1 minute, just we collect people from different audience, just guys from Africa, from Indonesia, from Turkey, so like from Latin America, so it's absolutely different audience. So we collect people from different geographical areas just to exchange how it's going, what's new, what troubles you have, maybe what benefits, where you feel the lack, and just exchange this shortly, as we didn't find any other way how to exchange the information, and I think it's very helpful, should be for everybody. So, and also we had the last week, as Tatjana said, with CES countries, post-Soviet countries, and also Russia, and we saw that some companies are like just working. Some companies like Namecheap, they said we grow very fast, and we said we have a lot of inquiries. Some companies said that they have a lot of inquiries, but not in sales. They're building their brands. So we would like to listen to you, and so you can share some experience, or maybe, and also if you need something from Site.pro, please also provide all this information that if we have this or this, we will sell more hosting services to our customers, as example.
Okay, maybe I would like to pass the word to Martin from Lighted Cloud, and Martin will be able to share the information with us about his country, about his company. So Martin, can you start?
Yes. First of all, hello Filip, hello Tanya, hello all my colleagues. Hope you're all doing well in this moment. And of course, all the audience, I mean the same for you. Well, I'm from Argentina, South America. We are a hosting company with more than 20 years. We were changing a lot really in these 20 years because we start from all different kind of platforms. Right now, with this special global moment, everything is growing faster than we thought. Of course, in the way of digitalizing the companies, right? Just a little bit of numbers. Here in Argentina, they are registered like more than 600K companies, small and big companies, and only not even half of them, or like 240Ks, 250Ks, they are with nothing about digitalized right now. No web page, no ERPs, no system, nothing about it. They just sell on cash and like the old times, right? So, and that's only Argentina. If we go to South America, that's higher numbers, of course. And from the rest, 60% more or less that I have on that number of 600K, they only have like 1 or 2 stages of digitalize right now. So of course, this moment, my country is in quarantine right now. Everyone should be at home. Some industries can go outside and work, but of course with special treatments. They need to start digitalizing all this, right? I'm also working in an association of hosting companies here in my country. And right now we are taking out a special program for these companies that they don't have nothing digitalized, like a web page, hosting, SSL, email marketing, all that they need to get out and start working with this. Really is going, we started this week and it's going really good. There we have a lot of industries interest on this. And as I told you, I think it's a moment for all these companies to start digitalizing, because I don't think we're gonna be like the old normal times after this COVID goes, right? So we need to be focused on being on internet, to say it on one way, because everything is changing. So all the companies will be sorry, my English is starting to some words. You understand me, Filip? I speak Spanish first of all. Some of these companies, they need to be changing to this. Like now, you cannot be thinking of we're gonna do it or we're not gonna do it. Now they're changing it, and they need web constructors, email marketing, ERPs, all kind of systems to go. Just a little bit more of numbers. The e-commerce last year was like I got this number. It was like 10% in global, right? In my country, it's less than 5%. So we got a huge way of growing in the future. Not in the future, right now. In my old company, the sales are going fast than other month. This moment, of course, we need to be with them, showing how doing these webinars. We got another kind of webinars for us, showing the tools, how they work. Like we need to help them a lot because we are a digital company, right? We are a company on internet since the beginning, but not them. So we need to go with them, show them how, explain them how, help them. And I know that everyone can do it, right? The payment systems, the email marketing, how to contact the customers, how to use the Facebook, Instagram, everything to start showing them the importance of having a web page also, because sometimes they think I go to Instagram, I go to Facebook. No, you need a website. And sometimes it's like, okay, but it's so expensive to have an e-commerce, to have, no, you have web constructors. Well, in this case, of course, we use Site.pro, but you get everything in one site, and you can use it by your own. You can use it by but with a designer, with a studio of designers, as you wish. It depends then maybe the end, the final end of the site that you want, but with people that study or people that not. But everyone can do it, and they can start. They can do the first steps, and then you need the pros like us, all our colleagues here, to help you going further on that. I think that's like the 5 minutes that you asked me at the beginning, but I think that's everything about that. There's a lot, of course, to talk about it, of numbers. And in South America, I only talk about Argentina, but South America, take that numbers to South America. It's huge, right? We got Brazil, Mexico, well, the states, of course, that are digital. But if you go down, Colombia, Paraguay, Uruguay, Chile, that's why we're Latin, right? Latin Cloud, because we are in all of those countries. But those numbers, you can take them there, and there's a huge market to start, that it's growing right now, and to start sharing with everyone. Super fast, big grow.
Also, just mention some trends that you also mentioned, that I heard also several competitors interview last week, and they said that in e-commerce, typically there are multiplied by 3 times inquiries in e-commerce. So it means that people need e-commerce much more than earlier. Of course, it depends on the region. Then second trend, I just put the presentation in here. It's .shop presentation was made 1 week ago, just for other webinar. They said that they increase .shop sales, the domain .shop sales, for 40% during last 2 months. It means that people really need it. Also, they show that in US sales goes up, but in Europe, no, with this domain name. So it's a little bit different. Also, one trend is that everybody include much more in the smallest package. For example, as you see, Zoom today or yesterday removed 40 minutes limit. Also, a lot of e-commerce platforms, they removed or extend the minimum trial day. For example, it was for 1 month, they make it for 3 months. They had, for example, 100 megabytes, now they did 200 megabytes. So people extend minimum plans. It's like global trend. It's maybe doesn't work for everybody, but that I hear in your words, and that I saw in other places. So,
well,
okay.
Adding what you say, of course, there are a lot of small business here that they need, that they close their doors, right? Yeah. to the people, to the face-to-face work, and that's the big problem, right? Because that people, they cannot get the money to the home, or the food to the home. And it's not only in Argentina, it happens globally. I think my colleagues, I think they're going to say the same, or kind of they're going to share that thought with me, not thought, that reality. So they need to start changing their minds and start selling online. And they need that. That's why with the associations of hosting here, we are showing this program, and it has everything that I said before, like the web page, we're not charging for that. All my colleagues are not charging. They're giving it for free with Web Constructor, WordPress straight away, or whatever they want to do. The hosting, the SSL, all kinds of stuff that you normally sell, or we normally sell, that, okay, let's keep it free for, I don't know, half a year, 5 months. Then we will see if you need more or not.
So now they collect leads, and we'll say it later, as I just heard it from several people. Okay. Thank you, Martin.
Because that people, then they need to be, if they could be digitalized in that way, or they need to change or not. So it's like we don't want to charge you right now for something that you know if you're going to use it or not. We will try to help you to use it. And of course, we want you to get out of this situation as far as you can, you, me, and everyone in the world.
So thank you, Martin, very much. Thank you for your opinion, for sharing the situation. Now we know what is happening in Argentina and in your company as well. And we have another very important guest, Munir. He will present himself and share the same information, the same trends, but in another country, in another company, and we will see what is the difference between continents, between countries, and what is the difference in the world. So
yes, hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you for inviting me for this webinar. I'm excited to be here. My name is Munir. I'm the owner of AE Server. We are a web hosting and a domain name registrar company in Dubai. As you can see, I mean, we are out of the quarantine. Well, not 100%, but we can move around until 10 p.m. So it's a bit better working from the office. I will give you two updates. I mean, one update will be about the economy in general, focusing on e-commerce, and the second update will be from our experience about our business and what we see, you know, what trends we see, answering Filip's question, like, you know, the trends we see in the market. So as an economy, of course, United Arab Emirates depends heavily on tourism, on business, on oil, you know, lots of, you know, retail. And unfortunately, during the past 2 months, everything was on full shutdown. So no flights, no tourism, no shopping malls, no nothing. And businesses are affected a lot. I mean, every day we wake up, we read newspapers about restaurants closing down, restaurants trying to dispute the charges, like, you know, towards the delivery aggregators like Deliveroo and Uber Eats and all those companies that try to charge for delivery service. And more restaurants are trying to find their own platform to sell online. So a lot of things are happening at the same time. What the government is doing, and the government is trying to support you know, distance learning, distance working, everything which is basically, you know, what we got used to now during the quarantine. They want to carry this over after the quarantine is over. For instance, they announced today that some of the government departments will have their you know, non-critical employees working distantly from home. So this will be a normal practice. They will retain the same salary packages and everything. So that's some of the trends we are seeing. Someone said initially that the world after Corona will be different. I didn't believe it initially, but, you know, because I live in such an innovative country where they're trying to, you know, have, you know, the tallest tower, the longest pilotless metro service, like a subway service and so on. I think it's true, and I think it's a good trendsetter. Regarding the hosting business and domain name business in general, Dubai or United Arab Emirates in general is a super well-connected country in terms of internet, in terms of business, in terms of being, you know, in the middle of Asia and Europe. So I mean, in the center of Middle East, very rich country. So lots of positive points happening here. So for instance, most of the people, when they started working from home, experienced no issues. I mean, I remember in the last week's webinar, some colleagues in, I think, Uzbekistan or some other CIS countries had issues with internet connectivity and so on. In the UAE, the telecom operators, they upgraded the data packages for everyone, for businesses and for homes. So let's say if I had 100 megabits connection in the office, it became 500. So they're trying to support in such ways. And of course, it's good for us. As a company or as a you know, web hosting and domain registrar, we noticed, I was actually surprised, and those are real numbers. We had an increase in business months on months compared to non-corona, let's say months of January or December. I was slightly worried that wouldn't happen, but indeed it happened. We had lots of, you know, new companies, new startups, new entrepreneurs looking for a way to go online, and they had lots of questions. So we turned from a traditional technical web hosting company where we sell hosting packages and domain registration. I mean, I'm looking at our chat transcripts and our phone calls. People are calling us for consultation, like, how do I start a business online? What do I need? And do I need to have a company? Do I need to have a trade license? Do I need to have a bank account? And so on. So the good thing, we had lots of services, like we have a web shop service, we have a couple of packages, like basic business emails and so on, which support, entrepreneurs to go live as soon as possible without, investing much money or much time into building an online presence, including a website builder. So those tools were very helpful. Overall, it's a very healthy market. We have more than 230,000 domain names under .ae registered in the CCTLD, in the country level domain name. So the domain is open, it's like .com. Any person from any country can book a .ae domain name. No documents, no paperwork, it's instant online, EPP based. So I think what I'm trying to say here, like the whole ecosystem was already prepared and ready in terms of automation, connectivity and tools to empower. It's just that some people still prefer using some traditional methods of transacting, or we have clients walking to our office to buy a domain name, even though we tell them, listen, you don't need to come to our office, we can do it online. And I think overall it's a very good boost for our industry in general. And I really hope that people have lots of takeaways from in terms of experience from this lockdown, and partially they will retain the same operational conditions and operational methods after the quarantine, because lots of people and lots of my colleagues mentioned that they are very productive when they stayed at home, they didn't waste time on traveling to the office and so on. So those things which we read in the books and we said, yeah, I know it's, when you work from home, we are more productive, but we actually never tried it. And now people tried it at a very large scale, and it's been very beneficial. I think we cannot complain. As an internet, as a wireless telecommunication provider, it's a sin if we complain about business, because lots of other businesses are suffering. But we, as a community, as internet companies, we should use this time to reinvest time and resources and rethink the ways we operate to reach larger scales. That's the best way we can succeed and help our community.
Thank you very much. It was very interesting to hear about the situation in your country, in Dubai. And actually, I guess that everybody is excited to know that you have a growth in general. And it was quite interesting to hear this information. Also, I would like to introduce you our key guest, Eugen from Konibit. Eugen, just a minute, I'll unmute you.
Okay, hello everyone.
Can you present yourself? Can you say what company do you represent and where you're from?
Yes, so my name is Eugen. I'm from Konibit, and we are not really a hosting provider company, so we are a value-added services company. So what this means is we work with telcos and banks to provide additional services to their customers, and usually we bundle all those products with all their packages with our internal products. And one of those products happened to be the site builder. So the way we provide the website, it's not part of a hosting package. Like, people that are coming to us are actually taking a website rather than they get like space or like hosting capabilities. So the idea is that we are working with small businesses, and those people usually don't know how to build a website. So we're working with Site.pro team first to automate the whole process. So basically generate a website for all those people. The second layer is like, we have a professional services team that includes both designers and developers that will help anyone build the website, and we actually help our customers build the website. The idea is that we have, as a whole, we haven't seen either an increase nor a decrease in our sales or how we operate, and that's mainly like because the way telcos work, like, people don't want, that's the last thing they will someone will people will stay on the internet and they'll still want to keep their internet connection, so they don't close their contract with the telcos. So how could, we have seen an increase in e-commerce website requests. And the only thing now, and here Site.pro will definitely help us with, and we have previously brought this up with Site.pro team, is we need a more like to the basic e-commerce functionalities we have today. We probably need to add some administration layer or like management layer, and that's what's stopping us from pushing forward like e-commerce part of Site.pro to our customers. But we've definitely seen an increase in inquiries there. Otherwise, like everything works as expected. So I've tried to be like brief here. And yeah, if we have any Q&A or something, I'll be happy to share. Did I miss something?
No, actually, thank you for the sharing.
To add some more things also about Munir and about Eugen. So I just try to write to Munir to personal chat. So the idea that in Dubai, your country is not in IT, and it means that in the long term, the country strategy, you're not like 50% of your country doesn't generate money from IT or hosting or something like that. So I think that it's maybe a good chance for whole country to change their view to the hosting, to everything. And I think it's good opportunity for you as well. And about Conibit, when I was in Mexico and was talking with some representatives, and also the like a big company have many geographically areas. What I would like to add that in Mexico still there are many people, and the same problem in Dubai. Many people use only social, and maybe like I said, Martin, people use socials and not websites. And if you go to the shop, big shops, maybe it's like five stores for one brand, and they still have no website. And as for example Dubai, or like I don't know, Argentina or Brazil, or I don't know, Mexico, still many tons, maybe millions of businesses still do not have any presence on the web. So I think now it's the best time to, I don't know, to help them to go to the web. And if you have like any other like things, how we can help you, or how we really connect a lot of hosting companies, if you need some information from others or something, like we need to build something so that these millions of people go to the web, because if they go to Instagram, it's not profitable for everybody in the room.
Yeah, that's totally right, Filip. And I've seen these trends, and for the countries we operate in, like it's Mexico, Ecuador, Nicaragua, Panama, it's all South America and Central America. So there is a lot of exposure we have, and we've seen the same things happening all around the countries we're working with and the partners we are working with. And like I'm really anticipating like the changes with the site builder, with the block system that you're doing to come to on-premise, because that's the version we're using. Like since you've touched like what we are expecting to, and like improvements to e-commerce, that's definitely that's part of like those big things. And the reason why it's important to kind of simplify the builder, and here is maybe something that people need to understand, like big companies are not coming for a website on a site builder. So basically they will hire someone to do their website. I mean, the people who are coming to do a website are actually like those small companies that don't have any technical experience and that don't have anyone on site, or like, and we need to help them first, like before ever envisioning like super complex features. Or like I've heard someone saying like migrating from Wix. That's definitely important, but some of those people, at least in the areas where we are, don't even use Wix. So we should at least try to simplify the experience with Site.pro, and that should be like the main top priority. And block system is something that will definitely help for those like users that are entering this this like site builder thing, or build their website on their own. because most of them are not technical people, and better e-commerce will do even more. So that's like, I think, our top priorities, at least for our customer base, which is SMBs, sole entrepreneurs, and very small businesses.
Yes, actually, you're right. Our new builder version is based on layouts, on blocks, and it should help your customers. It should simplify the life for your customers who are going to create online stores. And I don't know if I can mention, but we actually were planning to work a lot on our e-commerce. And first of all, we are going to launch new templates in e-commerce. So we will try to fulfill your needs from our side. Thank you very much, Eugen. It was very interesting, and thank you for participating here. And I would like to pass the word to our next guest, Ali from Iran. So Ali, hello.
Hello to you, Filip, and all of my colleagues, also the other audiences from other countries. I would like to start with introducing myself and our company. I'm Ali, and our company is Server Pars. Our web hosting address is Pars.host, and during this pandemic that everybody has problem, we had the problem the same in our country. Actually, Iran was one of the first epicenter of this pandemic. So we went to lockdown sort of later, but we've been the pandemic much earlier than other countries. But what we did during this situation that we started, first of all, from ourselves. We started to work from home much earlier than government pushed us to work from home. Also, after that, we decided to look at the trends and what other customers are need. And the need of other customers was first of all how we are able to work remotely. Because even though you want to work from home, but you don't have the infrastructure, then you will have problem to work from home. So we started to, as Munir said, our colleague from Dubai, we started to teach clients, to teach customers how you can work from home, how you are not have to go to office. You can work from home, and which kind of infrastructure do you need? Okay, there is Zoom software, you can have video conference with that. There is a Skype, you can use it, because although we have them all during the years, but because we didn't use them, maybe not us as tech savvy companies, but normal users, other companies, they didn't know if they wanted to have to go to meeting, they have to be in person. But now with some articles that we published, also with some free webinar infrastructure that we provide to our customers regarding to the trend that we saw, especially in Iran, other hosting companies, they tried to provide infrastructure for webinar and online learning system. So that was what we did. And what we saw in the trends was that, well, interestingly, in Iran, despite other countries, starting from 20th of March is a new year. So we had public holiday for like half a month. So I would say some businesses that were not related to tourism or kind of New Year stuffs, they were not affected that much so far. But the other companies, like tourism companies, they were affected so much more than other countries, even because it was the trends, it was a peak season for that companies. But for us, we usually have our lowest season during this new year, starting from 20th of March to the end of March, or maybe still after March. But if we want to compare our trends and our income, I would say that if we compare the year on year, we had much more orders in March. But if we compare month on month, I would say that it was the same. So we've not been affected by month on month, but year on year, we had more orders, because usually during this season, everybody goes to travel, everybody is no more home, they don't have access to computer or laptop anymore. So because because of homestay, because of lockdown, we had more orders during this lockdown. Also, we realized that according to the trends, we saw that there is a trend increased for web design, but mainly the trend is increasing in the infrastructure. So people are looking for to have the infrastructure because they may have like some freelancers, they may have the knowledge even to work with some platforms, or they want to implement some platform for themselves. So what we saw was that the trend was high for more for the infrastructure rather than like normal web hosting or normal web design or SSL, some products that we sell. But at the moment, we are back to office with 1/3 of our number of our employees. So we're already in the office now, and we are working just like normal at the moment. Also, I see that the trend is also much lower in Iran comparing to other countries because, you know, I think that this it's now the plateau, or even after the plateau, that we don't have that much new daily cases anymore, fortunately. And for the web design, you know, that we're also at the same time, I would say that we started to work more with Site.pro. We started to connect with Site.pro more, and it was interesting that you also offered the 1-month trial, because it would be very helpful for all the customers, especially also because we see that although we have more orders, like comparing year on year, but the problem is that lots of our clients, they have difficulties to pay their bills. They already ask us to postpone them. They already ask us to bear with them to be able to pay their bills. So this is what we see now, and we try to cope with the situation. We try to give our customers time to be able to pay their bills and to cooperate with them. Yeah, I would say that that's all major things, but still I'm here for the QA session at the end.
Do you have some special program that helps to survive and customers at this moment, or just you let them to postpone with payments?
Honestly, we don't have any kind of specific program. We try to cope with case by case. It's not a general idea, because if you put a general idea, then we will face also the problem and difficulties because of the payments. And at the moment, we don't have any specific program in general, but case by case, we process them. We look at them, the customer history and the customer credit. So we would go case by case in this matter.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I would like to add some things. You said that when the customer has problems to pay the bills, we not use it with Site.pro, but with our other business. We write we made a website. As you see, GoDaddy made the website, like landing for that, and as we show the Namecheap, made a landing like that. So we also made a landing for our other business, and we wrote that if your business if you're like a hotel, restaurant, or something like that, and if you would like to start using our services, we provide 1 year for free. And also, if your business has problems that government not noticed, as example, you support hotels, you have no income because hotels don't work. So we just write, please write us motivated later. Please write us motivated later, and we help you somehow. And you can use it public, and ever Lithuanians, and we are also a discount country that somebody called like country for discounts, so everybody asked for discounts. And ever in our country, when we wrote that, only maybe one person per week, as we have about 5,000 customers or something like that, only one customer per week write like motivated later, please add me 10 euros, not 100 euros, not 200, not 500, just 10 euros. So it's like, and also one more trend that Eugen from Konibit and also you mentioned it's about how to teach people. When I was in Mexico, and I also talking with several shared hosting companies, and everybody said the same trend that people prefer web design studios, because web design studio costs 200 euros, and hosting for 3 years costs the same price, 200 euros. And possibly maybe it's the one reason. But we said that if you organize some webinars, we can help you with that or something like that. And also you mentioned the same situations that you teach people how to use Skype, how to use blah, 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 blah. And also I think that maybe teaching people, maybe it's a new way how to get customers. And also we analyzed some analytics when we use webinars and upgrade customers, not for that kind, not for Site.pro, but for our other business. And we collect really hundreds of focused people who need exactly this thing, and it's much easier later to upgrade these customers. So I think maybe you also try to use like some teaching materials or okay.
Yeah, actually, our goal now, the public responsibility aside, our goal is to gain customer long-term loyalty by providing like this consultation, free consultation, or extending the bills, or offering even some free site builder at the moment, or free kind of web hosting, even if it's possible anyway. So I would say some companies tried to use this period just to earn more money, but I would say this period is very short, 1 or 2 months, and it will be done. But the best point is that we can use this period to gain more customer loyalty, to gain more long-term customer relationship other than a very short-term relationship with the customer. Because we see that at least in mid-range, in long run, there will be for sure some different culture from the customer, because customers are just found out, they just realize that they can work from home. They can definitely work from home. They can have the meetings from the Skype, other than like traveling, I don't know, from Dubai to Iran just for a meeting, for a short meeting. They can do it the same way. And so I would say that with that, we all are this web hosting companies of colleagues that we are here with this current situation, with providing some services to the client. We gain some free advertisement, free kind of advertising, or free brand loyalty to our brands. Because the trend is now something that customers find, okay, you see that even Google, they've been providing Google Meet for only on G Suite. Now they are going to provide the Google Meet for everyone. As you said, and you mentioned, Zoom is now increasing the duration for customers. Why? Because not because they want to give away something, not only for the public responsibility or social responsibility, but also to gain consumer loyalty and brand awareness and goodwill.
Also, we tried one thing. We pay for the sport for our team, and now because we are staying at home, I ask for yoga. Typically, we pay for two clubs for the online services, and I ask one club, if you sell these hours for us, can we use these hours for public? So every guy in our country can join the training, and we start advertising it. And yesterday it was 90 people on our training. So we put in newspapers that we pay for yoga for early Lithuanians. If you if you would like to have a sport, let's go to yoga. So it's free. We pay for everything, but we just pay for ourselves. But because it's very easy to connect everybody. So yesterday, 90 people were at yoga for free, and we pay for that because it's cost for us nothing. So it's good time for new ad types.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Alim.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yusuf, I would like to ask you, the Yusuf from Indonesia, here with us today. It's almost night there, as I understand. Yeah. Hello, Yusuf.
Yes, yes. It's, yeah.
I would like.
Almost 9.
Yeah. I would like to ask you to tell about the situation in your country, in your company, where all of us were interested to know what is happening there.
All right. Hi everyone. I'm Yusuf from Rumah Web Indonesia. We mainly provide domain and hosting services. We also offer Site.pro for do-it-yourself website building solution, and also using Site.pro for instant web development solution. Nice to meet you, and I hope you all in safe and healthy condition. I'd like to share a few things in our side. The first one is that in March, where all the COVID-19 hassle started in Indonesia, sales is not as good as usual. It declined a bit, but started from April, domain and hosting sales back to normal, and in fact, we have higher than expected. Of course, it's based on year-on-year data. And secondly, web development services sales goes down, but we receive a lot of new inquiries, mostly about how they want to display their product on the website. But we also noticed that only a few are asking about sophisticated e-commerce solution with the shopping cart, shipping calculation, and payment gateway. So I think basically digital transformation with or without COVID-19 is happening, but with COVID-19, it's like accelerated. But I think the way small and medium business transforming is still the same. In Indonesia, they will prefer using social media and online marketplace as that was the easiest and in most cases is also most effective and cheapest solution. They will also use a messaging platform a lot, such as WhatsApp instead of email, to communicate with their customer and taking order from their customer as well. And then, of course, the next step for them, for the small business, after they are utilizing social media, they will eventually need a domain and website, and of course business email as we provide. But as I said, it was all accelerated lately. And as I mentioned before, that our web development division received a lot of new inquiry about building a website that can display product, but not much inquiry about sophisticated e-commerce solution. I think the small business intention is clear enough that they want to display their product and complete service details online. That will be their first priority instead of building a complex e-commerce solution. And this kind of demand is coming mostly from local business, such as local stationery store, restaurant, florist, etc. I think this is the opportunities. This is where the opportunities lays. Well, that's what's happening in Indonesia and in Rumah Web especially.
If you think that we can help with Site.pro e-commerce, if you have some special requirements to us, we will be happy to hear. It's not necessary to share to prepare the information and to say during this conference, but anyway, we have contact with you, constant contact with you, and if you need some additional things from us, we should know about it.
Yeah, sure. But I think like I said before, the priority of the small business is to get their product and their service to get their product and service online, but not doing a full e-commerce solution with, of course, with payment gateway or shipping calculation, etc. This is probably the most concern that they have now.
Mm-hmm. So thank you very much.
Also, just a second, okay. Also, we just mentioned one trend in post-Soviet countries, like, and also China is the same. So China, also Belarus, also Russia, also Ukraine. Everybody try to close country, not geographically, but also forbid to use services outside. For example, if you are a Belarusian citizen and you would like to host your website, or for example, if you born in Kazakhstan, you prefer if you have a .kz domain name, and also you need to host your website only in Kazakhstan. And I think that in the long term, many countries would build the same situation as China did. For example, you need to have ESP license to host website in China. And if you host website outside China, is not good, but if you host website in China, you need to have some licenses. What I would like to say is that in the long term, cloud service providers typically would have like local presence. For example, if you use for example, we provide you enterprise product, so you use enterprise product and you're safe. But if you use like some cloud products, in the long term, more and more countries start building this, I don't know, bridges between countries. For example, 10 years ago, it was only China that closed borders for everybody. Now, more and more countries doing the same. And after the virus, everybody start thinking about how to close country from everybody. So just like a short suggestion to have always products in pack. So in my country, so if they, I don't know, turn off internet from the world, so your infrastructure should work independent.
So thank you, Filip. And now we have the guest from Africa who is responsible for whole Africa, Zied. Are you here? Are you with us?
Yes.
Hello. Hello,
Hi,
Zied.
how are you? Hi, guys. So my name is Zied. I'm from Tunisia, North Africa. So suppose is a hosting company. We provide web services and cloud service hosted here in Tunisia. And so regarding the market is quite small market. We have also about 600,000 companies. We have, however, about 40,000 local domain names registered. That means that the market has relatively low maturity. So the COVID-19 crisis actually made has turned everything upside down. So in the last 2 months, actually, Corona had achieved more than, 30 years of policy. So now we use Zoom-like web conferencing tools everywhere. So even the doctor that makes it, they said so. So explicitly in the radio, we've never thought that we can hold meetings without being present next to others. And these are doctors, they spent 20 years in university. So we have also, I'm also an initiator of the Startup Association here in Tunisia. And once the crisis started, so that the government focused a lot on the startup solution, on digitization. And so what we have yesterday, we started with the decaching and solutions. We have we have local web conferencing tools used. We have switched to e-learning. So private university, but also public university launched e-learning solution. Actually, really, it's so let's say for our digital sector here, the local digital sector or activities. So Corona did a lot of positive things. So we're not. So actually, let's say the common economy sees the value proposition of the digital tools. Now for the IT and for our activity, so the company's activity, we have an increase in domain name sales. We have also increase in server sales, and we have a lot of demand on they can't go to supermarkets or something like that. So the biggest malls are closed, but the smallest one in the neighborhoods are open. And delivery solutions, solution provider, so are increasing in terms of numbers. E-commerce. People started also to confirm what you said, Philip. So people gave more importance to local solutions because so in Tunisia we have mainly OVH like the main actor with even no presence of any OVH guy. So the OVH guy is based here in Tunisia. They work for the French market as a hotline or support team. In these days, so people have seen the importance of a local company, and you know, in our culture and in our market, people would like to talk to people, so they pick up the phone and talk. And when they see that there is someone answering, so they feel comfortable. And yeah, so again here people start evaluating and evaluate more the local service. So because we think as normal developers, so we should use the best tools like what Amazon, Google, Microsoft is providing. But now,
just a question. When I last time was talking, I think in the same office in Tunisia, and also was talking with your also partner, you said that OVH taking Tunisia and Morocco and other countries who understand French, and you said that it's good time for investments to Africa region, as Africa is growing and there are no big players inside the continent. Only big players outside, and only one big player outside was OVH, because OVH speak French as you, and now the situation is the same. Yes, so Africa still is big potential market where no big players.
Yeah, so Africa generally so remains the next, I don't know, big booming market. We don't have a big local player. Local African player. We have only global player, but without infrastructure based here in Africa. But it's actually the continent with the highest expected growth rate. So we have a movement from not non-traditional old economy directly to the digitized economy. So we are escaping a whole phase in the IT digital sector. So we have people, they are moving from the unconventional, the illegal business, like uncommon business, I mean illegal, from which is with a black business to the digitized business. And this is actually the growth. And we are a high number of population. We adopt easier technology. We are not like the European continent. We make, let's try it, let's see it. Yeah, but the only problem is the borders between the African companies should be removed and removed, so that we can start exchanging, because you have except Nigeria or South Africa, the highest, the biggest economies, the rest of the countries, they are like 10 million, 20 million, 30 million countries. And you know, to build successful digital products, you need economies with more than 200, 300 million population, so that you can really scale. So scaling in a market of 10 million people, it's actually still slow. It's a Cartier in China, like what we say. Or
I also was, maybe 2 years ago, I was in a hosting company office that manage that calculate income in millions in euros, and they search globally for the place where to open a new market. So they see like Kazakhstan, Belarus, like it's very small markets, but they saw also Indonesia, Latin America, and they choose Nigeria because it's 200 million people talking English, and it's like it's only one country in Africa, so it's like huge opportunities in Africa.
Yeah, yeah, we are aware. We as entrepreneurs are aware of the opportunity, of the investment opportunity, of the value proposition opportunity that we can have developed the country using the digital tools. Especially that we will install new tools. Also, we don't face the migration or update the barriers or problems that we can have once we have to have all developed tools and have to move to the next or the last generation tools. Yeah, but you know, also our investors are our our market. They are low maturity. They don't see the value of IT, and they don't invest in such industry. Yeah, so to make sure, I think the crisis is really heavy. So I didn't speak about the treasury of companies, the ability, the difficulty to pay invoices, you know, a lot of resources are on the street because a lot of companies, they don't produce anymore. What we did, so we decreased directly the hosting costs just to help now decrease also you know the expenses, the company expenses. But for the IT and digital sector, I think it was a good opportunity to show how these tools are really effective, and they really they really present, or they really show the value proposition. It's not something theoretical, but also practical.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Zied. It was very interesting to hear about Africa. Today we have one guest. We were waiting for him, really waiting for him, Freddy from hosting company from. He will represent him by himself better than me, actually. I'm sorry.
Hi,
Freddy?
Hi, I'm Freddy. I'm running the company Zonat. We run approximately 15 different web hosting brands, including Hosting Co UK, Hosting UK, Lux Hosting, Site.com, and many others. Of course, we are as well client of Site.pro. Sorry for being late. I'm in a different time zone. Okay, no, bad excuse. I missed the beginning, and I would just listen a little bit. We got hit as well, like most of you, maybe by COVID. Actually, in general, it was quite good. The last 2 months have been the very best months ever for us, because so many small businesses went online. We gave them free site builders, free tools, and they even started paying. I didn't expect this, but they started paying. On the other side, VPS and dedicated server clients disappeared. We are not charging them at the moment. Of course, we send them an invoice, but if they contact us, we give them the service for free. As we are having at the moment quite a good time. It's a bit difficult for us because most of the team is working now remotely, but yeah, it's okay. it's going. And we are looking for acquisition opportunities. So it's quite interesting that you are mentioning Nigeria with 200 million people, because actually Africa is on our map as well. So let's see what will happen.
I have a question about paying customers. Did you prepare any program, and did you suggest them to start for free, and then after the free some period of time they'll start to pay, or did they start just to pay?
Actually, when COVID started, we realized that we do not have any good tools for them. So more or less overnight, we implemented in some of our brands VPN services. So like then watching Hulu or whatever in the US, from the US, but in Europe. And these services we offered for free, and we see that they are renewing it already in May. So this is quite good. And some other tools like Hosted Exchange, we started already, I think, last year offering. This is one of the professional products we are having, and this is like it's selling like crazy at the moment. This is really good. Yeah, when they contact us, when they get in a chat with us, then and ask for a trial, we give it to them. But normally the service is not for free. But the VPN services, for example, we gave for free in the beginning.
And as I know, Freddy acquired a lot of hosting companies. So is it a good time for acquiring new companies? How is that market?
Well, it really depends. We mostly go after the small tickets up to mid 7 figures, and when the business in other hosting companies is going like our business at the moment, then maybe the price will increase also. I don't know, but at the moment there's really not a change, because it's in the last few months it was really hard to follow up in terms of acquisitions. People are working remotely. They are not in the office, so communication is really complicated, and there's a kind of an uncertainty. So in the last 2 months we have not done any deals. I'm looking for opportunities. If somebody knows a company or wants to sell, I'm here. I'm available. But the last 2 months have been quiet in this field.
Okay.
And also last thing, just we buy a lot of different statistics, and we saw a lot of different trends about how Wix is going and all others like Weebly, Shopify, and we just analyze these trends. So if somebody needs like these numbers, I can privately later share with you. So just to have
send over.
Okay, so just privately mention me, and I will. Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Freddy. Now I would like to pass the word to our Turkish partner, Burkay. Burkay, hello. How are you?
Hello, I am well. How are you?
Hi.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yes.
Actually, I am unmuted now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. How are you?
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice to see you again. Actually, some of my friends is already here. We already met with my friend from Iran and Tunisia, and I'm seeing new faces. Nice to meet you. My name is Burkay. I am in hosting and domain industry for almost 12 years. I started my career at Reseller Club. I worked there in India for 2 years. And also I work for Turkish companies named Natro. It's the biggest industrial leader of Turkish markets. And I worked there for 6 years as well as a marketing manager. Now we are in Turkey, and I have a new agency named Cloud Marketing. We are organizing the largest cloud event of Eurasia named cloudtalkglobal.com. This event's happening every year. but unfortunately, we couldn't organize our event this year. It was in April. We need to have a postponement to 29th of September. I hope that we are going to organize our events as well this year. Thanks to Filip, he invited me today to share some information about Turkish markets. I prepare a very good statistic for you if you plan to discover different markets. As a cloud marketing company, we also help companies to enter Turkish markets. We help them to manage their marketing operation. If you need any help about this, Nawab from my team, write you on chat. You can share your email with him, and you can take more statistics about Turkish market as well. Yeah, actually, as I told you, for 12 years we are in the market, and Turkish market is a very big market among the Middle East. We are the biggest market around. We are the biggest country around the Middle East for domain and hosting. Turkey is the 12th country among the world, and we have more than 3 million domain names managed, and we almost hosting more than 1 million websites in Turkish markets, and these are the good numbers around the country. If you look at the country, and you can easily see that here is a .com country. Mostly people register .com, and also Turkey is a quite price-sensitive country. We are selling .com domain names from $4 to around $10, but not more than this, because the market is priced quite price-sensitive. And now I'm currently managing 4 different hosting and cloud companies marketing operation. One of them is hosting.com.tr. Actually, it's very seems to hosting.co.uk. It's very generic company name, hosting.com.tr, and they are the Turkish one, and for almost 2 years we work with them. And also we manage the marketing operation of Markum Cloud. This is a cloud company. The company name, domain name API, is a kind of domain reseller. And we see that the market is quite getting developed day by day. But the problem is that the 6 biggest companies of the Turkish country creates the 70% of the markets. I mean that for first big companies creating the 70% of the markets, and but the good news, new entered companies to markets getting so big day by day, and we see that 33% of the website in the market is WordPress. Here's a WordPress country. And also there are different kind of solutions like website builder solutions like Wix, Site.pro, and GoDaddy website builders in the markets. And this website builders is around 300,000 websites like Wix, GoDaddy, and Site.pro solutions. There are more than 300,000 websites in the market. And here is the .com markets, but we also prefer .xyz.club as a new extension, especially the biggest companies of Turkish industry offering the .xyz.club and different kind of new extensions. So Turkish domain users likes to discover new TLDs in my market as well. And now in around the world, Turkey is the maybe 10 biggest country which is preferring the new GTLDs. So it's a good market as well. As a hosting product, mostly Turkish audience prefers to share hosting products. Of course, we use VPS and different kind of product as well, but market mostly drives by share hosting. And also audience prefer different kind of solutions such as SSL, email marketing solutions, and different solutions as well. And we see that the big development on these services for last 5 years, especially. GoDaddy and different kind of global companies entered the market that caused the market getting more developed. Especially GoDaddy is fucking strong in my country because they are doing so many marketing activities on TV as well. So website market is also getting tricky, and now website builder market is still alive. Most of the companies use Site.pro.
Burkay, the sound is...
Turkish market. I made 10 companies.
Just the sound from your
can you
side is not the best. We can hear every third letter in your word.
I think it needs to be better now. How is it now?
Almost the same. Yeah, and actually we don't hear you at all at the moment. Maybe I would like to present our next guest from Europe, from Hungary, George.
Yeah, of course. I can share this.
George, are you here? Are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you. Nice to meeting you all, and thank you for the invitation. Well, here in Hungary, the situation is almost the same like what you mentioned. Maybe a little bit better because I believe my country reacted for the COVID crisis in time. So currently the number of active cases are decreasing about like 5 or 6 days ago. And that's why we only have to stay at home and in kind of like in a quarantine only in the capital city, and everywhere else in the country you can now go outside, and the businesses are starting to boot again, and well, actually what I see and hear from customers, okay, sorry, before I go deeper, let me introduce myself and my company as well. So I'm George Egri from Hungary, from the BitNinja team. I'm the CEO of BitNinja. We provide a service which helps you to secure your servers and your customers' websites. So when you install BitNinja, you can get rid of those hacking attacks and botnet problems that all shared hosting provider and WordPress hosters are pretty familiar with. So what we see is that this crisis is actually so one of the winners is the IT industry and the internet-based businesses. When I talked to customers, many shared hosting provider told the same, that customers started to pay, and there are a lot of new customers in the e-commerce sector because there's so when you're in a quarantine and you have to stay home, your only chance to do business is via the internet, and that's why this crisis is pressuring every business to become online or closed. That's the only opportunity, and what we see is the same tendency is true for cybersecurity. So, for example, in every year in December, when the e-commerce sector is booming and all the traffic is doubled, we see the same higher activity in the cybersecurity space. So there are doubled attack numbers and botnet activity, and the same is happening now that there are more people online, more website activity, more online transactions. So there are more cyber cybersecurity events and actually problems. So that's what we see on our side, and I think this time is a good opportunity to recruit. What I see is it was very hard to find talented marketers and salespeople, and I think also programmers. But since the COVID crisis, it's now a bit easier to find people, and kind of our HR is doubled the number of hired people, and what I think might be also an important thing is to help our shared hosting customers to survive and give them all the necessary tools to be successful on the internet, and I think cybersecurity is one of the important factors, because
George,
yeah.
a second.
Of course.
I was talking to George 1 week ago, and I just called him and said, "Hi George, how are you? How it's going?" And George was the same as Freddy 15 minutes ago. He said, "Oh, it was 2 best months in my life." So
it's true.
I just ask George to come here, maybe to share. Maybe can you share just 1 or 2 things that helped you to achieve these best months? Is it like just being in the right place, or maybe you have some special ads or something like that?
No, we we haven't changed much. So I think it was not because we were so creative or found new channels or something like this. It's just when there's a big wave in the ocean, your ship will go faster with these waves. So it's just the same.
It means a shop is growing, and not typically not a shops. Maybe 20% of shops are growing, 80% still in the same place. But a shop is growing, and everybody who is in the same wave, supporting with cybersecurity or providing them CPSs or something, everybody who is on the wave, like
I guess. That's the case. What we see so far.
It was the main thing where I ask you just to come here, just everybody here, that if you support the right industry, you are the winner. So maybe as I see some people like Freddy who said, "Wow, it's growing, it's best months," and some people just we have no changes. So and I try to feel the difference, and the difference I see that we just need to support right industry. So, and also when we talk to shop, my other businesses, like we start calling shops, so 80% of shop has the same sales. Nothing changed. Only 20% goes up. So
yeah, there are a couple of industries which was so this COVID crisis was very deeply devastating, like restaurants or travel agencies and so but there are of course a couple industries which is not that dependent on the personal meetings. So I guess, for example, the building industry, I guess it didn't really change too much.
Actually, our company is also using Bitninja. And thank you for your service. Thank you, George. Thank you for your speech. We have 2 more guests today, and one of our guests is from Nigeria. Ahmad is here. Ahmad, can you hear us? Hello, how are you? How is the situation in Nigeria? We were talking a lot today about your country, just a few times mentioned your country, and and we would like to hear from direct representative person.
I'm not surprised they mentioned Nigeria and everyone is talking about it. You can't mention Africa without saying Nigeria. You know, we are one of the largest in the population, with 200 million people. I saw 2 days ago, I saw a map of Africa, and then it shows almost like 70% of Africa had, or 70 to 60% of Africa had 250 million people. And then one East West Africa, just Nigeria and just a few countries have 250 million people equally. So the distribution is not balanced in such a way. So it's a very attractive market in almost everything, not just hosting or websites. It's a market for anything you sell. It's like the China of Africa, you know. I remember telling my team that if you decide to sell soap in China because of the population, if you're #1 bathing soap seller, you're already $1 million company. So same thing in Nigeria, whatever business you pick up, as long as you're able to get the market share or get the attention of the populace, then you're already in a good market. That being said, we're here locked up in our homes. I have been indoors roughly 2 months now, 1 month plus. So our office shut down in March. We closed office, I think, 23rd of March, and we've been all working remotely since then. The government has eased down the lockdown in Lagos here, but the decision was not favorable because they wanted to extend it. However, it's not yet safe. So because we have very many people with low income, and so it's difficult for these people to earn their living. So we have people who go out to earn their living daily. So if you lock them up for more than a few days and they don't find a source of livelihood, then it becomes a chaos. You know, they will be dying of something else even worse than Corona itself. Work has been very slow for us. It's really difficult time we're in. We've been seeing a decline in sales, and I think one of us here mentioned something about customers writing to you for postponement of payment. I was smiling because I saw such trend coming to us too. Customers asking, "Can I pay some part of the fees, or can you postpone my payment until later?" One of the things we've been doing is, because we are focused on SMEs in this country, we have been giving them that listening ear, so that if they're not able to come up with their payment now, we try to postpone it for them or support them in any other way that we can. We understand it's a difficult moment. We are seeing a number of businesses coming online in Nigeria. It wasn't the trend before. I mean, I happen to be in the industry for over 12 years plus. And I can assure you that the trends I'm seeing lately, it's way more than even just 3 years ago. So there's a lot of businesses interested in coming online. Payment solutions are now becoming easier. We have more payment gateways and payment providers. If you check trends in Nigeria, you definitely see them. Like there are a lot of international funding coming towards payment solutions in Nigeria. So this made e-commerce become a lot attractive to Nigerians and Nigerian businesses, SMEs in particular. So far, we are also following up that trend as well. So we extended Site.pro with additional payment solution that supports Nigerian e-commerce. So aside, because by default, PayPal and the rest of all the international payment gateways are supported for most of Europe and Asia and the Middle East. But in Africa, it's not the same, especially Nigeria. You cannot currently use PayPal to receive payments. So we have to seek alternative options. Despite that, our site builder supports the integration for e-commerce, basic e-commerce service. It's difficult for people to accept payments with PayPal. So we had to extend it and add additional payment gateways.
Ahmad, George has a question to you. George from Bit Ninja.
Yeah. I have a question to you and for well, basically everyone who is in the shared hosting industry. So my question is, if you tried to directly do upsell to your customers since the COVID crisis, so have any of you tried to intentionally, reach out to your customers and sell more or do upsells of your services, like bigger plans or extra services? Do any of you have business routines like this?
Am I on mute or okay?
Well, in our case, yes, we're doing that constantly, and also some customers, they need to do it. Not only the cross sells, if not also the upsell, right? I think for me it's different, at least. I hope for you too in English. Like in some cases, we need to sell them another kind of services that we have, and in other cases, we need to make maybe the hosting plan or change from a web hosting share to a VPS or to a server or to more infrastructure on the cloud, if that answers your question. But yes, with this COVID thing, it's like they need more because, as we talked at the beginning, all their companies are working with their employees at home. So they need more VPN. I think your Site.com talk about it. They need more resources. They need more process of the servers, of the cloud. So yes, in our case, in Argentina and South America, yeah.
Got it. Martin, is it possible to contact you directly, because we are just working on an offering, security offering for website owners, and we plan to provide it as an upsell or with shared web hosting companies in partnership. And I would be very curious about your knowledge about this field.
Yeah, I shared on private my email and my LinkedIn, so I hope to be in touch with all of us.
Great, thank you.
If you don't see us in a convention, at least we can see us on digital, of course.
Yes. Thank you.
So for us, I think we did something to support people here. Back to answering BitNinja. So we increased the trial period for our site builder, for example. We are also now offering special discounts for people who are signing up their businesses online for the first time. And we are also giving discount for people renewing so they can continue their subscription. Just early this morning, I was talking to our operations manager regarding that, supporting continuity of businesses. We don't want to see anybody shutting down just because of COVID or their incapability of making payments or things like that, no finance on everything. So whatever we can, in whatever way that we can, we should support them throughout this period. Until this period is over, we will see everything possible to support. We extended our 30 days trial to 90 days to give them 3 months. So we believe you can set up your business and set up your website and enjoy it for 3 months, including the hosting and everything for your business. So we believe that we're already doing enough to support businesses that are in hard times.
Got it. Got it.
So before I forgot, Yusuf, I wanted to say hello to you. It's been a very long time. I'm not sure if you remember me.
Sure, I remember you.
So everyone in the house, we met with Yusuf in at an Icon conference in
Abu Dhabi.
Yes, exactly. So this is second time we're meeting again here on this call. It's interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. So lastly, I wanted to also talk about the delivery model for the websites. It has been very tricky for us, and I'm throwing out this question back to the whole group here. How do you see the best option for delivery? In our own case, this is the second time, the third time possibly, but in live mode, this is the second time we reiterated the delivery. Initially, we were bundling up the service separately. We were selling the service separately. So you need to get your domain, you need to get a hosting space. And then if you need a site builder, we can add it up for you. But then as we move towards the customer sign-up rate, we realized we had churn rate, and we had even cancellation of orders when customers saw that they need to get hosting inclusive. And then we reiterated to make it a full standalone service. So it's a site builder without nothing. You just have your domain, you get site builder, and you're online. We take over that. But we're still iterating this product delivery. And I want to hear the best models that you've seen or that you are thinking about in terms of delivering ready websites for SMEs at entry level.
Thank you very much. Filip, will you ask anything, or can I pass the word to the next?
Maybe 30 seconds, just as George asked how everybody uses the Corona idea. So I think that every business has their goals, and now just when you achieve your goals, you can also use this trend as like, but never maybe mention Corona, but you can like, as big changes on the web, let's do that. Earlier you just need security, now you need security because of situation. So earlier you need the website builder, but because of that situation you need website builder right now. So and you can also do what you need to do and just say because of situation.
Actually, I think it's very true. So before this crisis, it was a good to have thing to have an e-commerce store and go with things like this. Now it is a must-have, because if you don't have an online presence, then you are out of business. So
yeah, right.
It's a big difference.
Yeah. And I would like to pass the word to our next and actually last guest, probably last, Shafeek from Qatar. Can you hear us, Shafeek?
Hi, everyone. Yeah,
hello.
You guys. Yeah.
Can you represent yourself? Can you share with us knowledge about your country?
Yeah, sure. So basically, our brand is kind of a multinational presence. We are not just located in one country. So we have presence in 6 GCC countries actually. And so hope you guys are aware about those countries. It's like including Qatar, UAE, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and Kuwait. So these are the 6 countries it's located. So these are the marketing area where we are focusing. And apart from that, we do have our operation center located in India as well as in Morocco. So this is, we are currently serving more than 6,000 customers in GCC countries, all those 6 GCC countries. And I would say almost 80 to 90% of them small and medium businesses only. And so this COVID situation, basically what we are seeing is kind of accelerated the onboarding process for the new customers, and as well as for the existing customers who are using the lower packages. Actually they are coming to us and asking for the upgrades. and we are kind of trying to offer products not as a separate packages. Instead, we are putting together and giving us a one complete package. So this is the way we are serving to customer. And the site builder also is part of that package what we are offering to our client. And so for an SMB, so they don't want to purchase it separate. So along with our suite or the package, so they will have this feature as well. So this is how we are selling to our customers. And yeah, so basically this situation, what I'm seeing is that we, more than doing a business, we are basically helping a lot of customers who are not prepared to handle this kind of pandemic situation in the way that they never have even a company email address as well, like forget about website. So like they were purely using Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, so the free domains they were using for their the businesses. So this was the situation for those people. And so in this situation, what is happening that so the people started realizing the importance of having an online presence. So which is kind of a good thing for our market, I would say. And so yeah, so like a couple of weeks, so we I think onboarded more than 400 customers, and so which is really a good growth what we can see in terms of the response to this COVID situation, as well as we are just response to the other discussion what we had here. So we even started providing some kind of credit facility for the customers. So which means we have started a program called onboard assistance program, onboard emergency assistance program. So basically what we do, we are putting a criteria that if a company is less than 20 employees below, and if their business is heavily affected by COVID, and so they really need any one of our services. So basically what we are doing, we are providing them up to 3 months to 6 months free credit facility upon the approval. So basically we will be review their situation, and we will be go through an approval process. So then if they are eligible, then yes, we like close to 60 to 70 companies in these regions. We already started provided these facilities. So which we are ensuring that they will be continuing their business, and so they will be utilizing our product and services, and so understanding their current situation, which is really truly they don't have such a facility to make a payment or some kind of things like that. So we are helping them actually. So yeah, so this is the thing from my end, and so yeah, that's all.
Thank you very much. You are not from the biggest country, but actually it was very interesting to hear the opinion, the information about situation. Today, actually, we are so happy that all of you shared the information, and I guess it was interesting, and not only interesting, it was useful to know about the situation in different countries. We see that actually the trend almost the same in many countries, and there are no big changes in talking about different countries in these areas. All of us were looking, were searching how to grow, how to use the situation, and all of us actually succeed in this. Most of us succeed in this growing policy.
Yeah, and one more thing I have to add it to this one in terms of the site builder. Basically, as one of our another member just mentioned, so basically those people who is coming to use site builder is very small and medium companies, right? So if they were having such kind of high technical capability, or even they have that kind of budget, then obviously they will go for in-house or hiring some like a WordPress developer, that kind of the expensive and complicated stuff, they will go for it. So since they belongs to that, the SME category, they are coming here to, look for some kind of, solution like a site builder. So in this case, I think going forward, we even, by the way, in fact, we even started seeing that. So people started, even the small and medium business, they started thinking seriously about e-commerce. So in the past, the usage of site builder from the trend what we are seeing from our customers is that just to have a site like a site with fancy looking and responsive and put some valuable information. That's it. So this is what all they needed actually. But in current situation, even those people who already had that kind of websites and started inquiring that, hey, how can I put it some kind of online, selling things? And maybe 40 to 50% of people is not interested much to make an online payment, but at least some kind of like cash on delivery or that kind of system what they needed actually. So including user registration. So this is very important thing for them actually. So yeah, this study is going very very active in coming days. And so this trend, what I believe is that like for a site builder also, I would be appreciate for you guys to even think about this perspective a little more. I know that we do have already e-commerce kind of module facility and everything, but maybe it's time to think to make it a little advanced. Advanced in the sense not to make it so complicated like a WordPress or something, but start to consider to it's still within the scope of SME. But we have to, start thinking to add some little, value to it, just like a user registration and things like that, actually.
Thank you very much. And I would like to pass the last word to Filip.
Okay, just thank you everybody that you joined. And also, I just would like to mention that just changes starts. Can you imagine, I was just in 2 months ago, just Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan is mentioned, Munir, and also Tajikistan, all these countries still unable to use Skype because of bad connection. Just an example. You can imagine they need to work now at home when they have internet, when they have terrible internet. It means that new processes will start in that countries. So government need to do some globally, and at these processes in that poor countries start changing. Also processes in your countries will start changing, and e-commerce start going not for these 2 months, but it will go forever. So a lot of processes started, and we need to use it. And also next week we organize webinar with our competitors. We send the invites to all our competitors, and just to communicate with them. I think that you can also listen their YouTube or maybe mention later, but I don't know how many of them, but it's about 60 of them. I think maybe 10 of them will join, and we can discuss how website builders sell to their customers. I think it will be also good information for you. I have about 10 personal friends. I think that they will come, and also invite you to next week. And in 2 weeks we'll have other webinar where Tatjana will present, and our team also present our new version. It will also be included in enterprises, but if you also, everybody who use our product can also next week with competitors, and then later it will be our new version. So
yeah, we will make a great presentation of our new products that will be launched for all of our customers. So we'll wait for you as well. Thank you, everybody, for today's participant that you participated today. And I would like to say bye for today.
Okay, thank you. Bye, all guys.
Bye.
It will never happen if not COVID. So world changing. Thank you, everybody. Big
thank you.
Thank you for organizing this nice meeting, and thank you for meeting you all.
Thank you, George.
Bye-bye. Peace.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Peace and love.